Georgia is currently home to 1.4 million small businesses, employing nearly half the state's workforce. But operating any of those businesses without a registered legal structure leaves the founders' personal savings, homes, and assets exposed to commercial lawsuits. To secure those assets, founders form an OCGA Title 14 entity. This creates a legally distinct barrier between the individual and the business. If the company incurs liability, this corporate shield is designed to intercept the financial hit, protecting the owner's private property. When building this barrier in Georgia, entrepreneurs generally choose between three primary structures: the limited liability company, the C-Corporation, and the S-Corporation. Creating these entities requires registering through the Secretary of State's E-Corp system, followed by strict adherence to a specific sequence of federal and local compliance rules. Mastering the registration process is the first step in activating this shield, though keeping it in place requires precise, ongoing maintenance of Georgia's corporate records and tax filings. Step 1 is preparation. You need an original business name that clears the state database and a designated registered agent. This agent must have a physical street address in Georgia. P.O. boxes are not permitted. Step 2 is state formation. You submit your paperwork through the Georgia E-Corp system. It timestamps filings upon acceptance and charges a baseline online filing fee of $100. The exact paperwork depends on your structure. LLCs file articles of organization, along with Transmittal Form 231. Corporations, on the other hand, file articles of incorporation. Once accepted, the state index updates immediately. For corporations, this triggers an immediate post-formation requirement, filing an initial annual registration that lists your 3 principal officers. You have exactly 90 days from your date of incorporation to submit this initial report and pay the $50 fee. Missing this deadline allows the state to administratively dissolve your corporation, which effectively terminates your liability protections. The E-Corp system is fast and efficient, but it aggressively punishes founders who fail to track their immediate post-filing deadlines.
This video contains affiliate links. I have a relationship with the brands in this video and earn a referral fee when you shop through the links in the description below. Before we dive into the exact state steps and paperwork, let's talk about your foundation. You absolutely cannot build a successful brand or protect your personal assets without a properly structured legal entity. Most people try to launch as a sole proprietor or cut corners on their initial state filings. And that is exactly why they face massive personal liabilities or get their applications rejected by the Secretary of State. Your business must be a legitimate, separate legal entity. That's where Busy comes in. Busy is the absolute best formation service out there, handling your entire LLC or corporation setup for just $0 plus state fees. They take care of all the heavy legal lifting for you, filing your official articles of organization, providing your legally required registered agent service, and setting up your ongoing compliance alerts, so you never miss a state deadline. This step is non-negotiable if you want to operate legally and protect your wealth. I've linked my full in-depth review of Busy in the description, so you can see exactly why they are my top recommendation. Make sure to use my link down below to register your business through Busy today, which will also unlock exclusive discounts and perks. Get your legal foundation handled first. And then, let's get into the step.
Step 3 is the S-Corp tax election. It is important to clarify that an S-Corp is not a legal entity formed at the state level. It is a specific tax classification that you request from the IRS. To get this classification, you must file IRS Form 2553. The timeline is strict. It must be filed within exactly 2 months and 15 days from the start of your entity's tax year. While federal approval is necessary, Georgia enforces a separate compliance rule for S-Corps that have shareholders living outside the state. To be recognized as an S-Corp for state purposes, you must submit Georgia Form 600 SCA. Every non-resident shareholder must sign this document, agreeing to pay Georgia individual income tax on their share of the company's income. Failing to secure these signatures will lead the Georgia Department of Revenue to terminate the company's State S status, subjecting it to the standard corporate tax regime. Once you have your certificate from the Secretary of State, you enter a separate layer of local enforcement. Georgia does not use a centralized licensing system. meaning your state-level registration does not automatically grant you the right to operate in a specific county. Before opening your doors, you must register your new business with the Georgia Tax Center and file your beneficial ownership information with FinCEN. Next, you have to secure a local occupational tax certificate. These business licenses are secured at the county or city level, such as Fulton County or the city of Marietta. Navigating these local jurisdictions introduces a specific statutory requirement, OCGA Section 36-60-6, the E-Verify mandate. Any business with more than 10 employees must sign a sworn affidavit proving they are registered for and using the federal E-Verify system before they can legally obtain their local license. Operational legality in the state of Georgia requires navigating this complex map of local county rules alongside federal mandates. Now that we understand the filing mechanisms, we can compare the three entity structures to determine which vehicle matches your growth trajectory. The LLC offers pass-through taxation and is exempt from state franchise taxes. However, the annual registrations make manager or member information publicly accessible, and owners pay Georgia's personal income tax on their share of the profits. The C-Corporation allows for flexible capital scaling because there are no restrictions on the number or classes of shares you can issue. The trade-off is the burden of double taxation, where profits are taxed at both the corporate and shareholder levels. The S-Corp election eliminates double taxation, letting profits pass through to shareholders' personal returns. However, this structure limits the company to 100 US-based shareholders and a single class of stock. There is no perfect structure, only the one that best aligns with your timeline for taking on investors versus protecting your immediate revenue. Georgia's corporate statutes were designed for permanence, allowing entities like the Coca-Cola Bottling Company to maintain the same legal identity for over a century. That same OCGA Title 14 framework is what modern founders use to establish their own separate legal standing today. The financial baseline is competitive. With a $100 formation fee, $50 annual registrations, and the total absence of a state franchise tax, Georgia offers exceptionally low maintenance costs. But those low fees require a commitment to rigorous compliance. You must navigate local E-Verify mandates and hit unyielding state and federal filing deadlines to keep your legal standing intact. Georgia offers an affordable pro-business liability shield for founders, disciplined enough to master its administrative calendar. If you are ready to begin, the Secretary of State's E-Court portal is your first stop.